On the serious side, I was fortunate to have worked for Dale for 3 years and really would have worked for him forever. He was a phenomenal guy in so many respects as a boss, and I just want to talk about that a little bit tonight because I don't think in public life I've ever met anybody who was such a great public servant but really cared so little about legacy. And not that he didn't care a great deal about making an impact and a lasting impact, but it wasn't his legacy that he cared about. And so I just want to reflect on that a minute because his legacy is mighty. And we're here, tonight. He left public office in February of 1983. So 26 years after he left, we're here, a group of people who you would have to call, in an understatement perhaps, devoted to Dale Tooley. Those of us who had the opportunity and really the rare privilege to work for this man remain to this day devoted to him because he really had that kind of an impact. And it wasn't the lawyers or the people that we think about, and I think there's going to be some discussion about the judges, U.S. attorneys, the other elected officials who really started with Dale. It's all of the people who worked for him. I've never met a person who inspired his entire staff. So there are people tonight here, not lawyers or the staff, but they were really, in many respects, the core of his support because they so admired the way he treated people. And I think really the way that he approached life, approached public life, the vicissitudes of public life, and really managed to navigate that with the best of humor. He was a phenomenal guy that way. We think of him as this brilliant manager. And I want to rain on your parade a little bit tonight and tell you, he wasn't. And I offer you this one story to explain that. And I'll get back to this seriously. This is a true story. There were a group of us that went into county court together, 5 of us. I think 2 of us are here tonight, Karen Steinhauser. We started the same day as interns. We started the same day as lawyers. And over a 6-month period, we all really progressed pretty evenly. But this chief deputy came and said, Dale's decided to move you on to juvenile. And so I was going to be the first out of the 5. And so I went out and did what we did then when you got promoted. I got drunk. And had a pretty good party. Came in the office the next day, hung up. And now 2 other people had offered their resignation. And suddenly Dale says, instead of promoting you, we're going to do a lottery. And this is true, isn't it, Karen? He brought the 5 of us in, and he said, whoever gets number 1, they go first. Number 2 goes second, number 3 goes third, number 4 goes fourth, number 5 goes 5. Now, I've been told the day before I was going to juvenile, I picked 5. I'm the last to go. Karen picked 4. She filed the sex discrimination action. That's a joke. Almost. But it's like, here's the guru of management, and we're picking numbers out of a hat. And it's like, who goes on to juvenile? So that's just one story about them. But this legacy thing is the place I would return to and just say, if you look at all of the people who worked for him and their influence in the community, whether as lawyers or judges or elected positions, it is really significant the way they have salted this entire state community over the last 30-some years. And I think, Dick, the number of judges that are district court judges that work for Dale is 14 district court judges who worked for Dale initially, went on to the district court bench, and Dick has those numbers. And it's not just that it's a numerical thing, it is about principle. Because at the end of the day, the reason we, I think, worked so hard to have this plaza named after Dale is because I've never met a man so oriented around the concept of justice, which for so many people is this abstract notion, right? Justice. We talk about striving for justice. For Dale, he concretely strived every day that we do justice at whatever cost, whatever political cost to him, whatever personal cost to him. What mattered most to him is that we do that. And I have this sense that the pursuit of justice is like this lofty and noble pursuit. And I don't know that I've ever met a man in my life who so understood that and then was able to imbue that in a group of people. And so I think you said in the generation of lawyers, and I would argue it's multiple generations. And I would have never been a prosecutor if it hadn't been for really Brooke Wanneke and Dale Tooley, because they gave me this internship. I was going to be a labor lawyer. I found out what a fascinating group it was. Okay, so they partied pretty well too. But this great group of people, and I had this rare opportunity that I looked at it and saw, this has to be really a rare thing, to be a lawyer and to love what you do and to do it with people who so understood this notion of eking out justice every day. And so I became a prosecutor really because of Dale Tooley. And I would have never, I think, been the elected DA if I hadn't been the prosecutor, and I would have been the governor if I hadn't been the elected DA. And so all of those things have this ripple effect. But I think even more important than that, I have 2 nephews, and I have our babysitter, all 3 of whom are prosecutors. One in the Denver DA's office, 2 in the Jeffco office, and they're just this next generation who have been really, I think, impacted by people whose primary influence in life and understanding the pursuit of justice was Dale Tooley. And that really is legacy, something the man cared nothing about, and really is the gift that he gave us, and it's a lifetime gift. So for me tonight, the reason I'm happy to be here and really happy to be in this room full of people is because I think I understand the multiple generations that the impact that he had in his life, and that while he would have been very embarrassed when he talked about this, while he would have probably tried to oppose naming the plaza after him, it was the absolute right thing to do because of this phenomenal impact he had. So thank you for letting me be a part of it. We're going to have a little show.